morning, everyone. Before we learn how to hand pollinate, first we'll learn how to identify male and female flowers. Now, this over here, this is a female pumpkin flower. How you can identify that? By this tiny pumpkin that is already growing at the end of this bud, where this bud is connecting to the stem. If this gets pollinated properly, this flower will drop off and the pumpkin behind it will grow. Now this over here is a male flower. How you can identify that? As you can see in this flower, there is no tiny pumpkin attached to its end. So this is a male one. I'll use it to hand pollinate the female flower. And then let's see how it goes. All these are also male flowers cause as you can see they don't have any tiny pumpkin attached towards the end of these buds. This is how this female flower bud has been growing so far. This is the first time I'm growing pumpkin. In fact, this is the first time I've seen a pumpkin flower. So I'm very excited to see how this grows. And all these are the male flower buds. So even before a flower has blossomed, we can identify whether it's male or female. It's been about a week and this is how this female flower looks right now. This bud is so big in size. I'm so fascinated by this. I think it should blossom any day now. I'm very much looking forward to it. Just have a look at this. About 10 hours later, and here we are. The female flower is blossomed. Look how absolutely gorgeous it looks. And see, at the end of this flower, we can see this tiny pumpkin that is already growing. Now we'll be hand pollinating this flower. And if it gets pollinated properly, then this flower will drop off and the pumpkin behind it will grow into a full grown pumpkin. Now this inner portion, this is called the stigma of the flower where the pollen needs to be deposited. Isn't it so beautiful? Now the problem that I am facing is that although I do have lots of male flower buds growing here as I have shown, but none of them have blossomed. Even though these male flowers they popped up long before this female flower came out. But still it seems like this female flower blossomed much earlier than these male flowers. Now let's see, I'll just have to wait and watch. I do have one more female flower growing over here. See over here. So in case these male flowers don't blossom and this my first female flower it dries off, then nothing I can do about it. Then I'll use this second female flower for hand pollination. Just one last look at this gorgeous flower. This is the first time I'm seeing a pumpkin flower actually. Only a few hours after the last clip and this female flower has already closed itself and I was not able to hand pollinate it because I don't have any male flowers that have blossomed yet. So this female flower will just dry off and the small pumpkin growing at its end will also dry up and fall away. I have many male flower buds growing over here. I really do hope they open up soon. It seems they are taking much more time than these female flowers to blossom. And I have only one more female flower here so far. So I'm really hoping that these male and female flowers they blossom at the same time so I'm able to hand pollinate them and I don't miss my opportunity again. As for this flower, this was the first time I saw a pumpkin flower and it was a good experience. Hopefully the second pumpkin flower that I see blossoming, I am able to hand pollinate it. So let's wait and see. The male flower is here. Took 2 more days, but finally this male flower has blossomed. See this portion in the middle? This is called the stamen. This is the portion that produces the pollen and this is the main part that is required to hand pollinate the stigma of a female flower. And as you can see, there is not a tiny pumpkin attached at the end of this flower, so we can easily identify that this is a male flower. But now the second female flower has not yet blossomed. So I'll just have to wait longer again. It's the end of the day and my male flower has closed. It'll dry up now. Last time I didn't have male flower, this time I don't have female flower. I cannot believe this is happening to me. I hope I don't get stuck in this constant cycle. Good morning, everyone. Finally, the day has come. I finally have a male and female flowers blossoming at the same time. See, this is the female flower. As you can see, a tiny pumpkin growing at its end. So, this will be the female flower, and this over here is the male flower, which we will be using to hand pollinate. Now, inside this male flower, this is the stamen that is producing the pollen. Look how beautiful it looks. This is the male reproductive organ stamen. And in the female flower, careful, careful. Look carefully. See, this is the stigma. This is the female reproductive organ, and this is where the pollen needs to be deposited. Now, what you have to do is take off this male flower or cut it off. Here it is. One last look at both the male and female flowers together. So beautiful, isn't it? Now let's get to work. I've waited a long time. Now what you gotta do is take this male flower and can you see all the pollen here? Wow. We'll transfer all this onto the female flower. Now pull back its petals and expose this stamen carefully. Make sure the pollen doesn't fall. Here it is. Here's the stamen and look at this pollen. Wonderful, wonderful. Now take it to the female flower and rub this stamen which has all the pollen onto the female flower's stigma. Rub it nicely. And if you have multiple female flowers, you can use this same male flower stamen to pollinate all of them. You can use the same male flower to pollinate multiple female flowers. Actually, you don't have to rub so much. Even a slight touch or even a tiny speck of pollen transferred from male onto the female flower will be enough. But you have seen the tragedies that keep on happening with me, right? So, no way I'm taking any chances. I finally have both male and female flowers blossoming at the same time. So, by hook or by crook, I'm getting my first pumpkin out of them. I do have many male and female flower buds growing as I had shown you, but the problem is that these flowers blossom only for few hours, like not even half a day, only few hours, usually in the early morning, and then by afternoon they'll start closing off, and then by the end of the day they are just done. And as you saw, they keep on blossoming alternatively, the male and female flowers. So I have a very small window where I need both the male and the female flowers together. This here is the female flower after hand pollination. I can actually see the pollen all around the stigma of this female flower. Now we'll just let time and nature take its course and let's wait. I'll let you know the updates in few days' time. My flower, the one which I had hand pollinated, it dried off and this tiny pumpkin is also drying. Actually, I hand pollinated in the morning and then couple of hours later in the afternoon we got a very severe storm and this entire plant and this whole vine, it was just thrown off into the wind. In fact, the winds were so strong, this container in which I'm growing this pumpkin, this entire container was toppled over onto the floor. So it seems between such heavy strong winds and storm, this flower was not able to pollinate properly and it's drying up now. I'm so incredibly sad because The hand pollination was proper, but because of the storm, everything is spoiled. Now I have a third female flower growing over here. By my calculations, it should blossom tomorrow morning. So I'll be hand pollinating this tomorrow morning using the same method which I have already shown you. And the male flower is growing behind it. I'll show it to you. This male flower also should blossom tomorrow morning by my calculations. So I'll have a set of male and female flowers that I'll use together to hand pollinate again tomorrow. Then let's see how this goes. It's the next day and the male flower has bloomed, but the female flower has still not opened. I really cannot believe this is happening with me. I think I'm gonna cry. I'm really so sad. Oh god, I need to take a moment for myself. I'm really extremely sad. Hello everyone. So I've had 10-15 minutes to collect myself. I'm feeling a bit better now, and an idea has popped into my head. I'm not sure whether it'll work or not. I've literally never seen anybody do it, and I haven't even checked online whether it'll work or not. I have no idea how it came into my head, but I just thought that what I'm gonna do is I'll save this male flower and I'm gonna refrigerate it until this female flower blossom. Can you see all the pollen here? So much pollen, I don't want it to go to waste, and this flower, if I let it remain on the plant, it will close in few hours. So I've cut it off and now I'm gonna tie its petals and then put it in my refrigerator and keep it there until this female flower blossoms. And when this female flower opens, if that time I have a fresh male flower available, then I'll use that for hand pollination. And if not, then I'll use this refrigerator flower for hand pollination and see how it goes. I genuinely have no idea how it came in my mind and whether it'll work or not, but my mind works very quickly when I'm in crisis. So let's see how it goes now. I do have multiple flower buds, both male and female growing, but the problem I'm facing is that they keep on blossoming alternatively. This is why you should plant more than one plant. But unfortunately, I don't have that much space, so I'll make do with whatever I have. Good morning, everyone. It's the next day, and as you can see, my female flower has blossomed. None of the other male flowers have opened up yet, so I'll be using this flower, male flower, which I had put in the refrigerator yesterday. I took it out about 2 hours ago so that it may thaw a bit. Can you see all this pollen? Wow. I'll hand pollinate it quickly. I don't have any idea whether this pollen is still viable and whether it'll work or not. I'm not at all sure, but this is the only option I have left for now because the male and female flowers keep on blossoming on alternative days. So I'll try this technique and then let's see if it works or not. Now for today again we have rain prediction, so what I've decided to do is that I'll close off the petals of this female flower so that the pollen inside this female flower doesn't get washed away, and I'll keep it closed for 24 hours and tomorrow morning I'll open this flower again. I got this idea from freezing the male flowers, so I thought maybe we can close the petals of the female flower as well so that the pollen gets time to do its work. I'll repeat this point again in case you have missed. The female flowers, they blossom only in early mornings and only for few hours, and usually by the afternoon they'll start closing off. So you'll have only few hours in which you'll be able to hand pollinate. Good morning everyone. It worked. Look at the size of this pumpkin. It's only been 2 days and look how much it has grown. Imagine by harvest time how much it will have grown. Who knew our trick to save pollen will work, isn't it? Seems like third time really is the charm. Now, I'll be using this same trick for all my upcoming male and female flowers. Good thing is that I have a second vine growing over here and it is also about to produce flowers. So now I'll use this same method for all of them. Good morning, everyone. I have been able to get around 8 to 9 pumpkins so far, and the growth has been coming along nicely. Only thing is that the size of the pumpkins has been very small. I think it is because the container in which I'm growing these pumpkins it is very small. It is about only 3/4 of a feet wide and only about 4 to 5 inches deep, which is very less. So that's the only thing, but otherwise the pumpkins have been coming along healthy and good to taste also. So I'm quite happy with the growth so far because my main purpose was to see the entire life cycle of the pumpkin and that has been achieved. So that's good. Next time when I'll grow pumpkins, I'll know what all things to be careful of and what all points to take care of. For example, the first one being taking a larger container to grow them. Maybe hopefully I'll be able to grow in my own garden and I will have my own garden by then. But we'll see. But anyways, I'll catch you off in my next gardening adventure. Until then, have a great day. Goodbye.